In life, some relationships arrive suddenly, while others are carefully written by heaven through seasons of healing, patience, and prayer. For Gloria Matthews and Dr. Alex Thompson, what began as friendship has slowly become something deeper, something neither of them expected, yet something both can no longer ignore. But when affection begins to grow in the middle of grief, questions arise. Can love bloom again after loss? Can faith survive the whispers of people? And when God begins a new chapter, will the heart have the courage to turn the page? In this episode, emotions will be tested, perceptions will be challenged, and two hearts will discover that divine love is never rushed. It is proven through time. Welcome to episode 14 of the story behind the glory, the test of time. Before we begin, kindly take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this episode with someone who needs encouragement, healing, and hope. Your support helps us continue bringing faith-filled stories that inspire lives around the world. Now, let the story begin. At Grace Chapel, Vancouver, a few members began to notice the warmth between them. The shared laughter, the gentle smiles, the teamwork that seemed effortless. After service one morning, Sister Margaret whispered to another elder, "They'd make a beautiful couple." The elder smiled softly. "Maybe that's God's plan, but only He knows the timing. Even heaven's miracles are often wrapped in human speculation." At home that Sunday afternoon, Daniel sat in the living room scrolling through photos from church on his phone. He paused at one, a shot of his mother and Alex standing side by side after the outreach. His brows furrowed slightly. "Mummy," he said carefully, "you and Dr. Thompson seem close." Gloria smiled gently. "We work together, sweetheart. He's a man of faith, a kind friend." Daniel leaned back. "But, Mom, Dad's memory still lives with us. What if this makes Grandpa and Grandma uncomfortable?" Her smile faded. Her voice softened. "Daniel, nothing can ever erase your father's place in our lives. But sometimes, God brings new grace, not to replace love, but to continue it." Daniel looked away, conflicted but thoughtful. Even the strongest sons must learn that their mother's heart still beats. Even heaven's miracles are often wrapped in human speculation. Meanwhile, in Toronto, Clara Thompson received a message from her father. A photo from the outreach, showing him and Gloria handing out care packages. She smiled instantly. "She looks peaceful," she murmured to herself. That evening, she called her father. "Dad," she said warmly, "I can see it in your eyes. You found a friend who understands you." He laughed quietly. "Friendship, yes. Maybe more, but only if it's God's doing." Clara nodded. "Then let God prove it. But don't close your heart out of fear. Mom wouldn't have wanted that." It is often the children who give the courage parents are afraid to claim. That night, Gloria sat by her desk journaling. Her heart pulled in two directions, the calm certainty of peace and the cautious fear of perception. She wrote, "Lord, I don't want to offend those I love, but I don't want to resist what you've ordained. Teach me to balance grace with wisdom." She looked up at the family photo on her shelf, Ethan's smile frozen in memory. "You'll always have my love," she whispered. "But maybe I'm learning to live again." Healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means remembering without pain. A month later, Grace Chapel organized a weekend leadership retreat at Okanagan Lake. The crisp mountain air, rippling waters, and pine-scented breeze set the perfect backdrop for reflection. Alex was among the facilitators, Gloria among the coordinators. During a group prayer walk by the lake, they ended up walking side by side, their steps in sync. Gloria spoke softly. "Do you ever worry what people might think?" Alex nodded. "Of course, but I've learned to fear disobedience more than opinion." She smiled gently. "That's a strong answer." He looked at her with warmth. "You inspire strong answers." Faith had become their common ground, and perhaps their common calling. Later that evening, Pastor David sat beside Gloria by the lakeside fire. "Gloria," he began kindly, "God's blessings often come wrapped in new responsibility. Don't let fear of talk drown the sound of his leading." She looked into the flames, then nodded. "I just want to be sure, Pastor. I can't afford mistakes. Not with my children, not with the church watching." He smiled. "The safest place to stand is where peace meets obedience. If peace remains after prayer, walk forward slowly, but don't stand still forever." She nodded again, a tear escaping her eye. Spiritual fathers don't give permission. They give perspective. Meanwhile, at the University of Toronto, Clara sat in the campus cafe reading a study guide when a familiar name appeared on a registration notice board. Daniel Matthews, newly admitted to biomedical sciences. She smiled knowingly. Well, isn't God's script interesting? A week later, she introduced herself after class. "You're Daniel Matthews, right? I think our parents know each other." Daniel raised a brow, surprised. "Really?" She grinned. "Yes, my dad's Alex Thompson." His eyes widened slightly. "Oh, that's who you are." They both laughed softly, the awkwardness melting into curiosity. And so, while heaven shaped one love in Vancouver, it prepared understanding in Toronto. Back in Vancouver, Alex and Gloria met again at their favorite cafe. "I spoke with Pastor David," Gloria began gently. "He said peace is the test of obedience, and I still have peace." Alex smiled. "Then let's not rush, Gloria. Let's walk this road prayerfully. If it's God, time will only strengthen it." She nodded. "That's all I ask." When love is divine, waiting isn't delay. It's devotion. A few days later, Alex received a letter from Ottawa, a promotion offer to lead the engineering oversight of the entire national project. It meant more travel and less time in Vancouver. That evening, he called Gloria. "I got the offer," he said quietly. "That's wonderful, Alex," she said sincerely, though her voice trembled faintly. He hesitated. "But I don't know if distance is what God intends now." She smiled gently. "If it's God's plan, distance can't undo it. Obey him first. He'll handle the rest." True love doesn't cling. It trusts, even when trusting hurts. Before leaving for Ottawa, Alex stopped by Grace Chapel one last time. During worship, he stood quietly, eyes closed. A few rows ahead, Gloria lifted her hands, tears glistening as the choir sang, "Because of who you are, I give you glory." The same song that had once marked her surrender years ago now marked a new kind of obedience. Their story was not pausing, it was proving. For what is built by God must first survive the test of time. As the airplane lifted over Vancouver's shimmering skyline, Alex whispered a prayer. "Lord, if this is you, preserve it." And back on the ground, Gloria whispered the same words over her journal. Two prayers, one purpose. Waiting not for passion, but for divine confirmation. For true love, like faith, is always proven, not by speed, but by stillness. Sometimes God does his deepest work not in moments of excitement, but in seasons of waiting. As Alex journeys toward Ottawa and Gloria remains in Vancouver, their hearts are left holding on to one thing: faith in God's timing. Distance may test them, opinions may surround them, but when heaven authors a story, time does not destroy it. Time reveals it. Will their connection survive the growing separation? Will Daniel fully understand his mother's healing heart? And could God already be preparing the next generation for a greater purpose beyond what anyone can see? The journey is far from over. Join us in the next episode of The Story Behind the Glory, Seasons of Separation. A chapter filled with longing, growth, divine direction, and unexpected encounters. If this episode touched your heart, kindly like, subscribe, and share this series with your family and friends. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you never miss another inspiring episode. Because sometimes, The greatest love stories are not built by emotion alone. They are built by faith, patience, and obedience to God. Thank you for watching. And remember, what God preserves through time, no man can destroy.